Going live.
Hey, everybody. This is Cory Harter. I'm here with my wife, Chris Harter. We are part of Legacy Builders powered by eXp Realty. We are real estate agents, we're investors, and also landlords. We started a movement here that means it means a lot to us. We're calling it, as I said, Legacy Builders powered by eXp Realty. We want to bring like-minded people into the real estate arena who are looking to share, learn, and grow our businesses together. We believe in collaboration over competition, and that's a big reason we put this podcast together. We're really looking forward to this year to be able to bring value and additional resources to all of us to succeed in our businesses in this challenging real estate market. And today, our guest is Max Powers, and he does just that.
Yeah, Max, first of all, just thank you for your service. I think you have a military background, correct? And
yes, thank you for your support.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We invited Max because Max is part of our organization, and we've just seen a lot of growth and watched him just blossom over the year. And I think a lot of that has to do with some faith. And I'd like to talk about proximity when we talk about collaboration. It's getting in the right room with the right people. And our organization has just that, team leaders and some very, very innovative people, and we learn, and you definitely take advantage of that. And I've just seen your business grow. So maybe you can just tell us a little bit about you and your story.
All right, my story. Man, so there's the hours long version or the short version. So I'll try to keep it condensed here. But one thing you said, absolutely right. Like GoGo has taught us from day one, proximity is power. And there's two major things that changed my life in the last couple of years. And one was acknowledging that, I cried out to God to just transform my heart. I was in a hard spot, and I knew that I needed to come back to faith. And I asked him, I begged him to transform my heart. And then he put me in the right spaces, the right rooms with the right people. And everything's changed. So real quick, going back, I grew up in Michigan, lived in Alaska for a few years, and grew up going to church with the family, but it wasn't really like a personal thing for myself until I was in college. And I started hanging out with some business owners, and they were just doing life in a way where their business was their ministry, and it was really cool. And so I ran with them for a few years, and I had that foundation kind of built. I went in the Army for a few years. I got back, and I started selling real estate again, part-time, with my mom. We're basically business partners. And long story short, I ended up moving to Tampa and had to start from scratch. And I had been in this gap time where I wasn't in church, I wasn't serving, I wasn't really reading my Bible. I didn't have that relationship with Jesus anymore, and kind of drifted. And it hit a pretty dark, low time. And again, I just was on my knees, asked God to transform my heart. GoGo brought me to Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. So I had kind of a heart change, and then I got some strategies I could apply. And this big shift for me was I realized I was living my life from this perspective of what's in it for me. Like, I thought I was a good person, but I was going to volunteer or contribute one day. And I would get around to doing those things I know I should do one day. But I finally switched. Like, if I have an opportunity to serve and contribute and add value, regardless if there's anything in it for me, then I should. And actually, I must. So I started just saying yes to everything. And with the faith combined with that kind of service mindset, I went from 4 million in production one year to 13.5 million the next year. And I actually stopped buying leads from Zillow, which were paying anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 a month. I didn't market at all. And 87% of my business came from referrals, and the other was sphere of influence. There's no strategy behind that. That's not like a business model method. That's I surrendered to God. I tried to do it his way. I acted on kingdom principles, and he blessed my business. It was incredible.
That's amazing. You have a good place to have referrals sent to. It's a little harder when you're in Iowa.
That helps. Hey, right place, right time.
Yeah.
I
Right.
believe that I have favor and is blessed in my life, and that helps a lot with being in the right place at the right time and those right connections that you couldn't plan for. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm unfairly blessed and highly favored.
It's amazing how that works sometimes.
Yeah.
Never
Now
apologize.
he's Jehovah Jireh. He's our provider, but it's up to us. Our responsibility, I believe, is to be the best worker possible. So he can bring it to you, but it's up to you then to be the best at your craft, perfect your strategies, and prepare so that when he does trust you with the responsibility to take care of a client or lead somebody, you actually have the skills to back it up and do a good job for them. And not just a good job, but an excellent, outstanding job, right? That's our part of the deal. We can pray, he can bring it. But now when he made, the Garden of Eden, the role that Adam had was work, tend the garden, do a good job. And so that's our job, is to be the best worker we can in alignment with, his will or his path for our life.
Absolutely. And you are a awesome example of that. Absolutely. So, you talked about your leads and things and referrals. How did you get those? They just came to you, or did you go out and make phone calls, or I know you said you did a lot of volunteering and things. How did those really come about, I guess?
Yeah. How did the leads and the referrals come to me? So that's a good question. I've been licensed for 14 years. I grew up helping my mom in the office with real estate. I saw the way she did business. We were with Remax for a long time, which I love the office. I love working with the broker there, and the dynamic we had stuff was great. And we bought all of our leads from Zillow and realtor.com. And we had some past clients in Sphere of Influence, but just a little bit. Then when GoGo reached out to me, she saw I was licensed in 3 states, Florida, New York, and Michigan. And so we started talking. The thing that caught my eye at first was I could pay 1 cat for the whole country instead of 3 in 3 different states. So I saw that she had created this dynamic where she has a social media presence, and that's where she gets all her business. And I thought, well, I don't care about this EXP business model, but I'm going to do this for a year and learn everything I can from her, and then I'll go back to Remax. And then what I found was
funny.
Like, I didn't know that there was a community that prioritized collaboration over like your personal. Like, it sounds too good to be true, but I got into it, and after a year, I'm like, I just by showing up to the Zoom trainings and trying to find ways that I could contribute. I might not be the subject matter expert, but I could contribute my energy and my interaction and my encouragement. Just by doing that, I created relationships, and people knew that I was in Tampa, so they would connect with me. When people would post on Facebook or on Workplace looking for a referral, there were people that would jump on and say, "You need to use Max. Like, I can vouch for him." So I was able to cancel Zillow because all my business was coming from referrals. I'm trying to think. That just blew my mind at Remax. I never got 1 referral in 14 years, or however long we were there. Not 1. And I had 87%.
It is amazing, though. I mean, the collaboration, like you mentioned, and the camaraderie with EXP Realty is I don't even know how to explain it, but everybody wants everybody to succeed. Everybody takes care of everybody, and it's just it's not a normal corporate culture. It's made up of such great people, and I think a lot of it is involved with faith, and a lot of the agents and things. Is a common thread of one degree or another, and it's amazing what can happen. So I find
there
that
was
interesting.
There was a moment where I got that, and it was before I made the switch. GoGo had invited me to kind of a mastermind, and there was I think I met Randy Gammo, Tina and Kevin Call from Raleigh, North Carolina, Michelle and Dave, I can't say the last name, Sayward, I think. And Chuck and Angela Fazio were in town. And I thought, I was doing pretty good in real estate. And I had heard their numbers, and I'm like, I am the brokest dude in the room by far. Like, I'm homeless.
Exactly where you want to be, right?
Yeah. But I was like, man, and Mark Z and Kurt Shewell, they were there. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not even in the same universe. But the way they were sharing, I was used to people at the RE/MAX office being nice, but you're not going to go into their office. And they're certainly not going to tell you their secrets or their strategies because you're their competition. I had the biggest names that I've ever met in the business literally sharing everything that's working, all their secrets and trade craft. And I'm like, why would they do that? And then also offering like, hey, I can get on the phone with you anytime. If you have any questions, let me help you. They wanted to show me all their secrets. And it was just, it's crazy. It was really, really cool. And I got to talk to Chuck afterwards. And I just wanted to ask him, like, what's the most important thing? Or what's your story? I forget the exact question I asked, but his response was his testimony. His response was how Jesus changed his life. And I'm like, all right, these people are not just greedy in this to make money and selfish. So that really, that's when I was like, okay, this is different. I've never seen anything like this before, and I want to check it out deeper.
Great. Well, I know at the Build conference, and that's just one of the many events, but you really touched on something that I think is key. No matter where you're at, no matter what business, you got plugged in, right? You're attending the meetings, you're getting on the Zooms, you're getting in the right rooms, and you're making yourself available so that people know who Max Powers is and, where you are and what's going on in your life. And I think that's, very, very important. And also at the Build meeting, I thought it was pretty cool. And I didn't get that early morning, but you did. I saw several of you going down and having, prayer service in the morning and talking about that. So whatever you believe in, whatever you do, if you have, a higher power or something that drives you, I think that's critical in success as well. So kudos to you for doing the right things.
The principle there, which no matter what you believe, right, this principle is going to work. I never came early or stayed late or tried to contribute because I was always thinking, what's in it for me? I'm like, I'm going to show up late. I'll get what I need and leave. But when it switched to how can I give, that's when I decided to show up early, stay late. And when I was there, I think Cory, we met at NAEA, right?
Yeah.
In Dallas. And I'm there. I'm not the subject matter expert. I'm a student. Like, I'm there to learn. But I'm like, there's got to be some way I can contribute here. And I just went up to John on one of the breaks and I said, hey, what you shared really impacted me. You've already changed my business. And I just want to say thank you. And then as I was talking to him, so the old me would have thought, I'm not going to go bug this guy to get something for myself. And I thought, no, what can I give? I can give encouragement. Okay, I'm just going to go give encouragement and walk away. While we're talking, I thought, oh, wait, he's running an event. Last minute, things can go wrong. So I just offered, hey, if there's anything that I could help with, I know some things could go wrong at the last minute. If you guys need somebody to run to the store to grab another cable or whatever, just let me know. And he was like, wow, that's cool. Who are you again? Where are you from? And then long story short, they invited me to go to dinner with them, and we got to go to dinner with Tim and Jay Kinder. And then that was a whole nother experience. It kept building. But the old me, the old me never would have done anything except for come late, leave early, get what I need and leave. So when I say the referrals came because I started going to everything and I got to meet people, I didn't go and meet people thinking I'm going to go to get something for myself out of this. If you do that, transactional, I'll go talk to him so I can get something from him, it's not authentic and people can pick up on that. But when you go genuinely to just, I'm going to uplift, encourage, I'm going to contribute in some way, regardless if there's anything in it for me, there's a total different way of being that you will show up as. And I think that's so
I love that.
important to mention. Like, don't operate from this is a transactional engagement interaction. Like, get rid of that. Like, really, 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 how can I just give in this interaction, regardless if there's anything in it for me? God will take care of the rest. It might not come directly; it'll come indirectly, but that's it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're in a lot better place and feel much better, on a day-to-day basis too, right? Than, people that get up and worry about the next transaction, go to bed, get up. If you're, I love what you're saying, coming from a direction of giving and contributing, and it just makes it easier to sleep at night too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in every aspect of our lives, if everyone just had that service heart, and we have a nonprofit for kids with diabetes, and we don't make a dime off it, but it is just something that we've been passionate about. Go get connected, go, make a difference, leave the world better than you found it. But at EXP, what do they say all the time? A rising tide raises all ships, or something of that nature, So it is a great atmosphere, environment of positivity. And I mean, like you mentioned, Go-Go, but Go-Go is not a rah-rah girl. She's a get your ducks in a row and get moving too. She's got so much knowledge and a super great story, and we hope to have her on here one time. But everybody brings their own experience. And
I say have like Jesus transform my heart, and I have my friends there to like make me feel good. I have Tony Robbins to give me the strategies, to get me motivated. Then I have Go-Go to kick my butt and be like, now put it in action. Let's go.
Hold you accountable. So
you're operating at 10, but you could be a 15. Let's go.
So you did mention Tony Robbins, and you went to that, was it the 4-day or 5-day event, right? Maybe you could just expand on that, because
within, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Unleash Your Power Within is 4 days. And then Business Mastery we just did, which is 5 days. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was your
No, I was just saying, if you could maybe share. I mean, we saw him for a day build, and it was unbelievable. I can't imagine what spending you were in person, right there?
Yes.
Yeah, can you just maybe expand on that a little bit? What type of experience that was and what you brought out of it?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to condense 4 days of information and value. But I'll tell you my experience, my story, and then also the next year I brought like a dozen people with me. So I went into it in my early 20s. I went to dozens of different conferences, and I've read dozens of books on like self-development and different strategies. So going into the conference, I actually was at a low part where I'm like, man, I need to stay home and work. I don't need to go get motivated. I already know everything I need to do. I don't need to go to this 4-day seminar to get motivation. But there's something inside of me that just said, you absolutely need to go. Like, almost like your life depends on it. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is like God or me from the future coming back and telling me, but I need to freaking go to this thing. So I did, and I got way more out of it than I expected. It wasn't just motivation, and it wasn't just like tools and strategies, but it changed my entire view of my whole interaction with the world around me. The shortest way I can say it is it brought me from that what's in it for me perspective to how can I serve and add value and contribute. And operating from that, there are so many times, so many decisions that an opportunity came up. I was invited to a meeting or somebody wanted to talk with me, and the old me automatically was like, no. And I caught myself and I'm like, well, let me operate in this new way. And all of those interactions, all of those opportunities and meetings built up to make the connections, to provide the referrals, to create the relationships that changed my business from, again, the business went from 4 million to 13 and a half in a year. That doesn't happen. Even in just a better economy. Like, that's insane.
Right.
So it changed the way I viewed everything. As the short version, I could talk about that for a long time.
Did you walk on fire?
I walked on fire. Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
The hot, super hot coals, and you get in this peak mental state, right? Kind of like what you would need to get in before you jump into an ice bath or something like that, and you do it. And it wasn't just motivation, right? Because a motivational seminar, like, that's going to wane after a week or two. But 9 months later, because I applied the things that I learned there, I was still operating in this new, just better way of being. So that was my experience. And then I brought like a dozen people with me the next year, family, friends, realtors, people from church. And we rented a couple Airbnbs, packed it out. And everybody that I brought, I asked them afterwards, I said, did I oversell it? And they're like, no, you undersold it. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for getting me here. And I had people that went in like, I'm not going to get much out of this, but like, you know, I trust Max. I'll go check it out. And men like crying and hugging me like, dude, thank you. It's good. So cool. I'm getting emotional. I'm not getting emotional because of the Tony Robbins strategies. I'm getting emotional because, like I said, I first started praying that God would transform my heart, right? And my relationship with Jesus and getting to know him is what makes me want to go to those things and not give up on people. That's just a strategy. There could be other books or other seminars that would work, but it's not giving up on people and not worrying about yourself so much that you're not willing to get uncomfortable and fight for what you know is possible for this other person. And then to see them experience the change and the growth and to come back and say, thank you. You've changed my life. And it's not for us. It's Psalm 115:1. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name goes all the glory for your unfailing love and your faithfulness. Like, the point isn't for us to get accolades and get attention and get everything that we want. It's so that we can be blessed, so we can be a blessing. And it's so that people are attracted to us, so we can redirect them to Jesus.
Absolutely.
I love it. Great. Like, yes. The journey has been wonderful to follow and watch, and I hope that we can get to know each other better in the future too by attending events and things. And we just so appreciate you sharing and getting a little bit vulnerable and just telling your story, and never apologize for your journey and the blessings that you have received, because you just keep working on yourself and working on your business to make the world a better place. And that's very, very commendable.
Yes. Gosh, Max, that's yeah. Well,
I want to speak to, I think there's a lot of realtors out there right now that are probably uncertain. It's January 2023. People don't know if, you know, the whole world's going to burn down or what, and they're still going to be selling real estate in 6 months or a year. So they're probably wondering, like, I know what we did last year isn't the same thing that's working now. Like, what do I do? And I would just say, again, if you're thinking about how do I get business or how am I going to make it, switch it to, okay, how can I cultivate, grow, or nurture what's already been given to me? How can I make better what's already been given to me? How can I give? How can I serve? How can I become the best possible, whatever role it is you play, team leader or realtor, list agent, buyer agent? Use this time to prepare and think about the ideal person that you're supposed to be servicing. What problems do they have now, or what problems are they going to have? And come up with those solutions now, so that when you do interact with people, you're not trying to get anything from them, but you're able to offer and give the solution, the answer to the problem. You're able to provide the certainty that they're missing right now. When you operate from the standpoint of giving, it doesn't matter what the economy is doing around us. People are going to be attracted to you, and you'll always find a way to make it through.
That's fantastic.
Love it.
I think that's well said. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Max Powers, EXP agent in Tampa, Florida. you can, we'll link him. We'll find out the best way to, if you want to find out more about him, we'll link it down here at the podcast so you can find a way to get a hold of him if you want to. I think we've came to probably time. Really appreciate this, Max. I really appreciate your time. It was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. And like Chris said earlier, I hope that I look forward to getting to meet you, get to know you better as we move forward in our journey into different events and things. So we wish the best to you. God bless you and everybody out there in Tampa and your family and things. And thank you so much. I don't know if you got a parting word you'd like to share.
I'm just thankful to you guys for the opportunity, for trusting me to come on and share. This fills my cup, and selfishly, this makes me feel fulfilled. So, thank you for the opportunity.
No, but thanks a lot. This is a Legacy Builders podcast that Chris and I have started, and we're really trying to start a culture of collaboration here, giving back, learning from each other, and that's what it's all about. So, Max Powers, Tampa, Florida. Thank you. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.